everybody. It really is a tremendous honor to be here with you all again this year to report on progress, provide some updates, share a few reflections. Each year as we approach the AGM, I scan the list of registrants and members and donors and board members and allies and partners and volunteers and fellows and staff, and I'm always struck by just how incredibly lucky I am to be working with and for an organization that attracts such a community of just incredible, powerful, and committed individuals, and just how privileged I am to be working in support of Results Vision, a world where extreme poverty is relegated to the history books. That is just so powerful and so hopeful, as we've heard reinforced by our guest, David Morley, a few minutes ago. And again, how inspiring it is that the lever we choose to affect big change is informed and smart strategic advocacy with a network of volunteers who are so deeply committed to impact. So it's really an exciting place to be. And, it's the fuel that drives our campaigns, our commitment to hope and solutions, and our commitment to action, and our resolve to kind of see our mission come to fruition. So, over the past year, that resolve has ushered in more than a few significant wins in terms of the impact agenda, with perhaps the most, I think, impressive one that stands out for me is a $1.21 billion Canadian investment in the Global Fund to fight AIDS, TB, and malaria. Canada's commitment during the Global Fund 7th replenishment last fall represented the single largest investment Canada has ever made in any international financing institution for health. That's a significant and huge accomplishment, and Results played a leading role in the Fight for What Counts campaign, which is what we dubbed it. And many of you on the call were involved in that, including co-convening a really powerful coalition of about 15 diverse CSOs, civil society organizations, that really stood together in support of the Global Fund alongside all of you, hundreds of Results volunteers. And, to be honest, when we set a really bold, ambitious target of that $1.2 billion ask of Canada, which represented a 30% increase from the previous replenishment, I thought we were crazy. I thought it was an impossibility. But, it just taught me something after doing advocacy for so long, the recognition that don't talk yourself out of big and bold, ambitious goals, particularly when it's about striving for a better world, and a better world that is possible. Don't be conditioned to, accept scarcity as the riding sensibility. And we didn't give up, and hundreds of actions, dozens of Hill meetings, smart inside and outside advocacy, media publications, amplifying our call during Pride marches, securing new partners, securing endorsement from over 50 parliamentarians that all of you helped secure across political parties, and we hit our target. I'm so proud of that win, so proud of Results, proud of your leadership in securing it, but I'm especially proud of the impact that those resources will generate in the world for one of the world's highest impact global health mechanisms, the Global Fund. That investment will contribute to 20 million lives saved in the coming years and ease needless suffering in untold ways. It's a significant accomplishment, and one that, I think we should be really proud of playing a significant role in. But even with that incredible success, it's so impossible not to be cognizant of some of the, the broader trends and shifting global realities that are continuing to affect our work, and also to define and redefine, what our metrics for impact are. It's becoming increasingly clear that succeeding in our mission to end poverty will require more than smart allocations of a hopefully increasing aid envelope. It'll also require a real reckoning and retooling of global structures and institutions that are still too tethered to the twin pariahs of colonialism and oppression in their design and in the way that they operate. So, power is shifting without a doubt, but it needs a shove. And as we look ahead to the results of the future, I think a clear sense of how we can support that shift must be, really part of that mission. So these are big questions. We certainly don't and won't have all of the answers to those questions, but, it's important that we're asking them, and that we're going to be working on those and thinking them through with all of you as this year proceeds. So And a baseline for this important reckoning, this thinking, this work, the development of a new strategic plan. We're going to continue to build out and strengthen our organization and our movement. So it gives me great joy to report that today we have more than 500 volunteers, including close to 60 fellows across Canada, who are actively engaged in our mission. And, you know, over the years, I've been fortunate to have a front row seat to the impact that can be achieved when results volunteers really push themselves, when you push yourselves to be bold. And it's a vantage point that really never disappoints. So, and also as another way to build out our movement, I'd like to share that in addition to helping our own volunteers flex their advocacy muscles, we just launched an initiative called Advocacy Accelerator. And I think there's going to be a link to this in the chat, but the Advocacy Accelerator is an earned revenue model, which affords results the opportunity to light up others to the power of impact of advocacy as a lever for change. So I hope you'll help us spread the word. Already, we've provided training to close to a dozen organizations, and through those organizations, hundreds of advocates committed to social justice, both in Canada, but also around the world. So finally, as I close out this report, I'd like to give a shout out to our exceptional team of board and staff, many of whom are on the call. And I'd like to take the opportunity to thank the board for your constant support, because it has been unrelenting. And also, and especially, I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the hard work and dedication of our staff team, whose commitment, resilience, and smarts continues to be a real inspiration. And you can meet our staff at the link that's in the chat as well. There's so much work to be done by all of us to repair and I hope chart a path towards a more just world. But even if the times feel kind of chaotic and blurred, we can be invigorated by the clarity and importance of our mission. So with that, I'll close and thank you again for your continued support and your engagement as part of the Results family and community. Over to you, Jean-Michel. Everybody, it really is a tremendous honor to be here with you all again this year to report on progress, provide some updates, share a few reflections. Each year as we approach the AGM, I scan the list of registrants and members and donors and board members and allies and partners and volunteers and fellows and staff, and I'm always struck by just how incredibly lucky